Hello, this is Mr. Wynn, and this lesson is about adding and subtracting rational expressions. So this lesson focuses on adding and subtracting fractions, and just like you've learned, you always need a common denominator. There are always different denominators we could use, but we want to use the most easiest and smallest possible, called the LCD, or least common denominator. So here's a quick review. When adding and subtracting fractions, you need a common denominator. Then you may add the top or start at the top while leaving the bottom unchanged for a single fraction answer. So before, if I gave you this fraction 5 over 6 plus 4 over 9, you could say, well, multiply the left by 9 over 9, multiply the right by 6 over 6. So that gives me, what, 45 over 54 for the left, plus 24 over 54 for the right. They now have the same denominator. I could add them together at the top, so that's 69 over 54, but we need to reduce. I'm able to reduce the top and bottom by 3, so that is 23 over 18. Alright, now that's one way to do it, but that's not the easiest way. That's not the least common denominator. So let's do it the complete way. We always want to factor first. So 5 over 6, well 6 is really 2 times 3. So we break down 6 plus 4 over 9, but 9 is really 3 times 3. I actually need the bottoms to be the same. You see how the bottom left one has a single 2 and a single 3? And the right fraction has 2/3 at the bottom. The left one is lacking a 3, and the right one's lacking a 2. So I should just multiply this by 3 over 3, and this one by 2 over 2. So when I do that, the problem now changes to 15 over 2 times 3 times 3, well 3 times 3 is 9, times 2 is 18, plus 4 times 2 is 8, over 3 times 3 is 9, times 2 is 18, same denominator. Add those together, that is 23 over 18. Notice I did not have to do any simplifying here, like the other problem. So when we do this, we're going to break down the denominator of each fraction and make sure each of them have the same number. So I'll do it like this. For this left one, we had a single 2 and we had a single 3. So 2 to the first, 3 to the first. On this other one, we had no 2s, we had 3 squared. For each unique thing, each different thing you see, you have to use it. So we have to use 2 to the first because it's the only 2. Now both of them have 3, but whatever appears more you use. So I'm going to use 3 squared. So it'll be a single 2 and 2 3s on both sides. That's why we have a single 2 and 2 3s there. The other fraction, a single 2 and 2 3s there. Alright, so let's try this on a problem. Simplify this. Well, let's first, what do you want to do? You probably want to find the restrictions first. Remember, the denominator can't be 0, so let's set each of them equal to 0. 2x equals 0, well, if I divide both by 2, x can't be 0. Same as the other one, 5x can't be 0, so divide both sides by 5. X can't be 0. So let's repeat. As long as x is not 0, we're good. So that's our only restriction. Now I need common denominator. Well, for this one, I'm going to factor the left one. So let's do, this one has a single 2 and an x. This one has a single 5 and an x. For the least common denominator, we're going to need each separate thing. Well, we need a 2, so we got a 2. Both of them have x. They both have x to the first power, so pick either one. I'll pick this one. And we need a 5. So you do that. That's really 10x. Alright, so let's go back to the problem. To get the left side to be 10x, we said, oh, it's missing a 5, because it already has a 2 and x, it's missing a 5. On the right side, to make it 10x, it's missing a 2. Sometimes 2 over 2. That makes a new problem, 15y over 10x plus 4z over 10x. Well, the denominators are now the same. You can combine it to one fraction. Add the tops, which they do not combine because they're different terms, over the bottom unchanged. And the only restriction is where x does not equal 0. That is my answer. That's a simple one. Here's the next one, example 2. Again, always factor first. So this 4 stays there. x method, let's see, 3 is 3 and 1, and 3 and 1 makes 4 by subtracting, so x minus 3, x minus 1. You could follow that to check, but that's right, plus x over x method. How do I get 5? That's, okay, that's a tricky one. That is 6 and 1, so positive 6, negative 1. There, you could factor that, or FOIL to check, x squared minus x plus 6x would be positive 5x, and 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. Alright, let's do our restrictions. So x cannot be, these are nice to actually change the sign, so it can't be positive 3, can't be positive 1, can't be negative 6, and it can't be positive 1, but it's a repeat. So positive 3, positive 1, negative 6 are our restrictions for our domain. X can't be those. So I'll save that for later. I'll put this on the bottom right corner over here. All right, we need common denominator. So you see how this left one has x minus 3 and x minus 1. And the right one has x plus 6, which is new, but x minus 1 is a repeat. So my least common denominator has to have these 3 things. All right. So as you can see, the left one is just missing one thing. It's missing the x plus 6. So I'm going to multiply this left one by x plus 6 over x plus 6. The right one was missing the x minus 3. So I'll multiply this by x minus 3 over x minus 3. And now I got to do that. So let me move this least common denominator down. The left side becomes 4 parentheses x plus 6 over that giant fraction, x plus 6 times x minus 3 times x minus 1, plus the right side becomes x times x minus 3 over x plus 6 times x minus 1 times x minus 3. Well, we're going to combine them by addition to make a single fraction. So, and let's distribute at the same time just to save some time. So that is what? 4x plus 24 plus, that is x squared minus 3x all over that giant fraction, x plus 6, x minus 3, x minus 1. Combine like terms if you can, and should put in descending order of degree. So let's see, the 4x and the negative 3x combined. So my final answer should be, it is x squared plus x plus 24 all over that giant fraction, the same thing from before. We don't have to multiply the bottom, just the top. That's it. So where are restrictions? Right there. That is our answer. So it's quite a bit to do common denominator, especially when there are variables like this. But just make sure you pick each of the factors so we have common denominator. All right, here's another one, but for subtraction. Again, factor everything. This bottom, you take out 6, that's x minus 3. Minus x minus 1 does not factor over, so I take out a 4. No, I take out 2 down here. So it's 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. However, that still factors. So let me leave this over here. And let me change that 6 to a 2 times 3. It'll make it easier for us. Minus x minus 1. So I do the x method, ACX method. Let's see. There's only one way to get 2. That is 2x times 1x. Now I have to use 3. So a times c is 6. What factor of 6 can make 7? Well, that's 6 and 1. So to get this, give me negative 6, and this will give me negative 1. To make negative 7, and negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. So that's good there. All right. Let's find our restrictions. I'll go down here. X cannot equal. Well, these are not factors, they're just numbers, but this one is a factor. So x cannot be positive 3. That's not a factor, this is a multiplier constant, so don't worry about that. Here, that's going to require a little bit of work, because I can't just change the sign. I have to add 1, then divide by 2. So x cannot be 1/2. can't be 1/2. And this is positive 3, which is a repeat. So there's only two restrictions. X can't be 3 and it can't be 1/2. Alright. Now let's do the least common denominator. So there's a single 2 in both, so make sure I have a 2. There's a 3 on the left side, there's on the right side, so I do need a 3. There's that x minus 3 thing. That's in both of them, and it appears once. And the other one has that 2x minus 1 thing. So there are 4 things that should be on the bottom of each of those. The left side only has 3 things, so I need the 2x, missing a single thing, 2x minus 1. The right one, the bottom has 3 things, I need 4 things, it's just missing a 3. Alright, so let's fix those fractions. Let me move this LCD out of the way. Let's move this up here. Alright, so the left side becomes, and let's just multiply this at the same time, save some time. 10x minus 5 over this thing, 2x minus 1 times 6, I'll put a 6 there, x minus 3, minus that other thing. If I distribute this, that's 3x minus 3 over the whole bottom, 2 times 3 is 6, leave this here. Alright, now the tricky thing about subtraction, because the arm is the same, I have to subtract the top, you should distribute this. I'm going to make this a -1 here, and I'm going to distribute this to that. So really it's 10x minus 5, that should be a minus 3x plus 3 over that giant denominator, which I don't feel like writing again. Combining terms one last time. So let's see, 10x minus 3x is 7x. -5 plus 3 is -2 over the denominator, which for final answer I should rewrite. So 6, 2x minus 1, x minus 3, where my restriction is right there from before. Alright, that is my answer. Alright, here's your practice problem. Simplify that. That should be the answer. If you can do that, it should be fine for class. Again, this is Mr. Wynn. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.